I always thought it would be cool if you could go back and listen to the day-to-day of today's highest achievers as it happened, as opposed to 30 years later after they've made it. I believe there's a giant disconnect between ground zero and the top floor because we only see the top floor and the top floor only talks about the top. How valuable would that be? And so it goes without saying, but I believe I'll make it there. And this is the documented journey through each level. My name is Bryson Sessions, and you are listening to the Bed Podcast. All right, you're going to get ready for the gym with me. So that's what we're doing. So I got 3 topics today. Wrote them on my hand. So first one I'm going to start off with is what I didn't even finish yesterday because I took an 8-minute ice bath. So I was talking at the time about, I'm not peeing, I'm filling up my water. I was talking at the time about the daily videos that I'm doing to make as some kind of daily video series for the person who does the program, so that they would have just like a little daily video of me doing the exact same program with them. And that was the whole vision. But the more that I made them, and I made 5 of them, but none of them were up to the standard that I really was looking for. They're not hitting the level of quality and the level of education and value that I wanted them to. And the whole idea is to do them live as I do the program, so that my day 5 is their day 5, my day 50 is their day 50, etc. But it wasn't panning out the way I wanted it to. And I felt like if I were to commit to the whole thing, then I'd have to make sure that every single one was up to the standard. And that's fine, I'm not making excuses. But having zero preparation or planning or anything like that as far as what I want to talk about, and I guess the tips I wanted to share, the things I want to focus on, I think that's where I was making lesser quality videos. And the writing, the messages I want to send, I'll probably keep doing those. But as far as videos go, I think what I'll do later, and it'll be another giant project in and of itself, but I'll have to just sit down and record videos for a certain topic or something like that for each day and have it be more focused on that topic. That's kind of the idea. So overfilled this damn water. Anyway, so that's that. I'm taking a pause on that. And when I say pause, it's like, I already missed a day, so I kind of failed that whole thing. Well, I didn't fail. I just literally decided that I don't think that's a good idea. So just wasn't making the best quality shit. And so the whole thought process behind that is they have to be done in real time on the day of. And that's my only opportunity to do that one day, because I wanted to keep it real. So I don't want to record today and be like, oh, today's day 4. Well, today's day 7. So, and the thing is, like, nobody would know, nobody would care. But like, dude, I would know. I want to have clear conscience and just fucking exercise some integrity, bro. So anyway, that's that. That's the daily videos. So next we got my results on the first week of the program. So I want to be clear for those who might not know or understand. But when you go from eating kind of however you want and eating in a surplus to then cleaning up your diet and then going in a deficit, you tend to clean up so much water weight. And so it might seem like you lost so much weight the first week. A lot of it is water weight, and a lot of it is, honestly just water weight. And to be fair, when I stepped on the scale, I think it was after I had a couple meals or something like that. So the scale said 204.4. So if I were to give my best judgment, it would probably be closer to 202. So I'm going to say, so the scale said 204.4, but I'm going to say I started at 202, and that was day 1. So today's day 7, or I guess that was day 0. Today's day 7, and I stepped on the scale, it was 197. So if you want to look at it like that, I lost 5 pounds the first week, and 5 pounds. And if you want to start from the first number, I lost about 7.4 pounds. So that's cool, but that's it's not all fat. It's not all water. I'd probably say, I don't know, 6 of those, if you want to say 7. If you want to say 6 of those pounds that I lost was water weight, and then 1 pound was fat. So that's cool. That's the goal, to lose 1 pound of fat per week for the next now 15 weeks. So that's cool. And I kind of want to touch on that real quick. So the whole cut itself is going incredibly. There's no hunger, there's no starvation. It's very simple. I'm still eating the foods that I want to eat, and it's fine. So it's exciting stuff because for many reasons, but it's more for me right now, the fact that I'm making this program, I'm following my own program, and I'm seeing results immediately, and I'm not starving myself, and I'm not super annoyed with tracking or whatever. And I know not everybody is like that. I know that I'm probably a lot more experienced in a lot of all of this than the average person, or who signs up for the program. But yeah, so that's that. And the third thing we got here is, so I gotta get ready for the gym, dude. So the third thing here is, the last few episodes I've been talking about the total amount of money that I've made coaching in the past. And I've always been like, it's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, something, $9,000 over the course of like 3 years, something like that. So I went back. So first of all, I had the thought of like, dude, I can actually go and check on this stuff. What am I doing? I can go back and look, because it was all done on PayPal. I can see the invoices. I can see how much I made total, And because it was so long ago, I had to apply so many different filters to get back to the date range, because this was in 2020 and in 2021. And it turns out that was it. So I want to say between June of 2020 and then December of 2021, I made a grand total of $6,061. And the cool thing about that is when I was quote unquote trying a little bit harder, that's when I made about $5,000 it's about $4,800 if I had to guess. $4,800 between June 1st or June 20th or whatever it is, 2020, and the end of the same year. So $4,800 my first 6 months doing it. So that's cool. Something like that. Might have been a little bit different. I'm just gonna say $4,000. So $4,000, because there was one paid in full that might have been in the year 2021, but it was $6,000 total between June 2020 and December 2021. So the reason why I think that is cool is because it serves as a great reference point of what is possible for someone who lacks all the confidence in the world, who refuses to get on the phone and talk with anybody, everything like that. I was so nervous to message people. I thought it was, my attitude was so shitty. My outlook, my confidence, my self-esteem, everything was so bad. And I don't want to say this because it makes me sound like a bitch, but I was going through a lot at that time. At least I thought I was. And so having to, I guess moral of the story, I wasn't there mentally, I wasn't there emotionally, I wasn't there, I guess physically either. I mean, I wasn't practicing pretty much I was a fraud, right? And of course I help people, and the people that I have helped, I actually still talk to some of them, and they're killing it still. And oftentimes they post on social media and they'll say, shout out to these people for helping me on my fitness journey, and they'll tag me and a couple other people. But the fact that I played such a role in their fitness journey means that I to some extent, and I did, but to some extent knew exactly what I was doing, what I was talking about. But I always say this, at the end of the day, I can give you the best blueprint on planet Earth. But if you don't follow it, then nothing's gonna happen. So anyway, I went back and looked, made $6,000. So there's proof right there that even if you have really no direction, your attitude's shit, you can still make shit happen. And $6,000 in 18 months is, what would that be? $350 a month average for 18 months. And that's me not messaging 3,000 people a month. That's not me posting regularly every day. That's not me practicing sales and hopping on the phone. I didn't have one appointment. I didn't have one sales call during that whole time. Nothing. So All that through the DMs, all that through just posting stuff here and there, all that through just being me. So the fact that people paid me, the highest payment that I received in full for a program was $650. And that was for 12 weeks. So 650, so that's about $217 per month average, but that was paid up front. So they paid $650, they got 12 weeks of training. That's the highest amount of money I've ever received in one transaction ever. The second highest, actually this is up to date in real life, up to right now in real life, how much money, the highest amount I've ever been paid in one sitting. So from my own thing, I should say. So $650, that's from one person. And then we have, I think it was $500 from another person, same thing. So let's see. And then the next one was, I think everything else from there was month to month. So highest month to month I had was $250. That one person fulfilled that 3 times. So it was for 12 weeks. So they didn't want to do paid in full. So the alternative to that was monthly. And then from there, we had one person, and this is the one person that stayed with me for the long haul. And this person saw the most results. And this person kicks ass, so I'm very proud of them. I'm not going to give them share their name, but they kick ass, and they still continue to kick ass. So, shout out to this person. I don't know if you listen to the show. You're going to know who you are when I say this, but this person signed up with me at the start, and they were my very last client before I, quote unquote, shut everything down. And they paid from June to December of up to 2020. Okay, so they signed up June 2020 and they ended December of 2021. So that person stayed with me the entire length of my quote unquote coaching career at that time. So that person kicked ass. So that's kind of, and then between all of that, I had a couple people month to month, a couple one-offs, because at the time I was selling, you can do a full package, you can do just a new training plan, just do a training plan, just a nutrition plan. It's different prices, different this, blah, blah, blah. And I did make money from doing that, so that's cool. But again, my attitude was shitty. I had no intention of doing so much. And at the time I was in a mastermind and I learned a lot, but they wanted me to hop on Instagram Live, Facebook Live, wanted me to do phone calls, wanted me to record my phone calls, wanted me to role play. And I don't know what it is, man, but back then for me, something about role playing and something about practicing and recording and trying to sell and hop on the phone, I was so fucking scared, so intimidated, so everything by all of that. And I just chose not to. And I think that was the reason. So the reason why I didn't succeed the way that I wanted to last time was because I was too scared to jump out of my comfort zone and to grow and to try something new. And it's funny because now that's the thing I'm most excited for. I'm most excited for, I left my light on, that's great. I'm most excited for getting on the phone with somebody and being able to practice sales, being able to practice talking to people, and all that shit. So anyway, that's a little bit of the past. That's a little bit of the information, I guess, of the coaching that I used to do in the past. So, and I really want to hammer the point home that I wasn't DMing people. I didn't message 3,000 people a month. I don't know how I'm gonna do that now. I'll probably have to start with 1,000, because if I message 100 people a day, and we'll say 20 of those people respond, then that's 20 people on top of a new 100 that I'm gonna have to talk to. So if I message 100 people yesterday, 20 respond, that's 20 messages that I gotta respond to today, plus another 100. And if you compound that, then it would reach a point where it's like 400 people a day, and I only have 4 hours per day to do shit. So that's a whole other thing, but we'll figure it out. But anyway, yeah, I wasn't DMing people. I wasn't really doing much other than making a little bit of content here and there. I think I was posting 4 or 5 times a week, and then there for a while I stopped posting altogether. I don't know, man. There was just a lot that I wasn't doing. And so I don't know how to hammer the point home, but like I don't want to say I wasn't trying because it sounds conceited, like, oh, I wasn't even trying, you know, but like I wasn't, you know, my efforts weren't there. My attitude was dog shit. I you know, and I guess to keep it transparent, only, I want to say a grand total of, let's think. I'm trying to remember what transactions I saw. I want to say a grand total of about $800 or $900 of that $6,000 total was family, but they paid full price.
I kissed the ground and called my mom, of course.
What the fuck was that?
Trade that die for anything.
All right. Okay, well, anyway, yeah, they paid full price. Everything, it's not like I made $6,000 and it was all, you know, daddy's money or whatever. So anyway, there's that. So, but I wanted to share that because it's a great reference point. I'm very excited to do this again, but with the right frame of mind, with a better program, with more experience, and to be practicing what I preach, meaning I'm doing exactly everything that I am telling other people to do, or recommending, I should say. And it's a better feeling now knowing that I'm more than likely 100% of the time going to be doing more than what I ask of my clients. You know, I'm not going to ask all my clients to hit a double workout, an ice bath, and read and blah, 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 blah every single day. But I am. So when I ask something lesser than that, I can say it with conviction, like, hey, I'm doing, like, in my mind, I'm like, hey, I'm doing all this. You can ask, again, in my head, somebody else to go harder in the gym because you're going twice as hard in the gym and you're doing this, that, and the other. So you're completely justified to ask. And that's another thing that I'm striving to live by, to never, ever ask somebody to do something that I wouldn't be willing to do myself, or to tell someone to do it for, or something like that. So striving for that. It's so cold, dude. Holy hell. Mid-June. What's going on here? Anyway, so again, just a reference point, because I think this will, I don't know if I would deem this a notable episode, but I do think it'd be really cool to look back on. So maybe it will be. I don't know. But it'll be cool, man, because the idea is to have the program up and running by August 24th. I'm trying my best to make that happen. There's so many things that I have to do between now and then. So, and again, that number, completely arbitrary. I pulled that out of my ass. It was August 12th, or August 14th, because I was 8 weeks from the day that I said I was going to have a launch date. Then I changed the 14 to a 24 just by putting a couple lines on the number 1, and I made 824, so that means Kobe. So so now I'm like, oh shit, now I have to, you know. So anyway, we'll see how that goes. I'm gunning for it. There's a lot of work to be done, but it'll be awesome when it is done. And then that starts a whole other chapter of all of this, which is the social media strategizing, the content planning, the content creation, the fitness podcast if I end up doing that, the Your New Norm podcast if I do that at the same time. There's a whole bunch of shit coming down the pipeline, right? So it'll be cool to see, the whole reason why I bring all that up is because it'll be cool to see how I do then, so by the end of the year, I guess, versus how I did for 18 months in the past, not really trying, or, you know. But the one advantage that I had then that I don't have now is, I think at the time, that's when I had my big social media account, and I had the highest I've ever had in my life was 32,000 followers. And I did, the way that I got that was before Instagram got all really restrictive with the amount of people you could follow and unfollow in a day. So I had an app that would automatically follow and unfollow people for me all day, every day. And so it would follow in a week like 7,000 people, but then also unfollow another 7,000 people. So it was just constant rotation. So when I would do that, my following grew so much. And I think I think people still to this day, friends that I used to have then, think that I bought the followers and they were all fake or whatever, because my engagement was so shit. So it was like, oh, he's got 32,000 followers, but only gets 100 likes on every photo. So those are all fake, obviously. So, but I've never bought followers, so that's cool. But that's the advantage that I had. And to be fair, all the people who signed up for the program, except one, I knew either in real life, or they were a friend of a friend, or they were at least in Utah. Every single one. Except for one person, and he was in the Netherlands. So that's cool that I reached somebody over there. And yeah, so I think that's all the details I wanted to share about that. But again, I really want to say it's just a point of reference. If that's what I did then with the shitty attitude and the lack of self-esteem and the lack of confidence, and like honestly very poor goals and poor motive, if I can do that then, what can I do now? Because now I'm excited to get on the phone with somebody. So I can present the program, I'm excited to do that, because what's the worst that happens, So that's, I thought I forgot my cat cardigan. We're good. So that's that. So that went on a little bit too long, longer than I anticipated, or than I wanted it to, but yeah, so we got the results from the program, lost about 7 pounds. The amount of money I made from coaching from 1 year to the next, and then the daily videos being no longer. So I'm probably still going to make daily videos, but in a different context. So anyway, that's the show. It's 2:48, and I'll chat with you guys next time. Okay, bye-bye.
Hey, thanks for listening, and quick reminder here. So this podcast doesn't prioritize professionalism or quality at all. It's just meant to be a shoot from the hip type podcast with the intent just to get a quick message out. So some episodes might be inaudible in 30 seconds and others might be 45 minutes and super crisp sounding. So all these are being made so that by episode 7,305, which is 20 years, we can come back and see the entire playbook of how I made it to wherever I'm going. So thank you so much for listening. I really appreciate it. I'll talk to you soon.